Hi, this is Trinesha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about, is that all you got? I know it sounds like so different, I guess, for me to say something like that. Okay, I think we're good. The shirt is just so, it's like one of those shirts that you kind of just gotta get used to. But what made me want to talk about, is that all you got? Is because I realized, and I knew this from the beginning, but it's a fixed fight and God already won. It's nothing that you're going through, nothing that you will go through, nothing that the adversary could throw at you that God can't already handle, that He can't manage, that He can't help you survive or make it through or be be successful at accomplishing it. Accomplishing, learning from the lesson, whatever it is. And anything the adversary tries to use against you, God can work it out for your good. He can do anything. So I know, like, sometimes when you have keyboard warriors and you have people who, like, they're behind the screen, they like warriors, or like they on the phone warriors, but in person they don't act like that. Or, you might be like, yeah, on a computer in front of a screen or on the phone, and all of a sudden people got a whole bunch of like stuff that they want to say. Then you face to face, and then all of a sudden people forget, they get amnesia, like they don't realize, they don't remember what it is they have to say. So whenever whenever I get spiritually full and I really feel like, okay, I made it through this storm, I feel stronger. I always feel like, oh yeah, like what else you got? What else do you have? Like, is that all you got? Cuz I think you forgot that I got God on my side. I think you forgot that I'm faithful to God. I think you forgot that even though I may have had a setback, even though something might not have went my way, even though there's things in my life that I wanted that I didn't get to have, it doesn't mean that my faith lacked at all. It doesn't mean that I ever stopped believing that God is the God who He says He is. I never believed that God would ever lie to me, no matter what it was that I didn't get that I wanted. So while I'm behind the screen, I'm really telling the adversary, is that all you got? Not that I'm trying to poke the bear or anything like that. I just, it's something about when you make it through a storm. It really fuels something inside of you. It makes you feel like I'm going to be all right. Everything is going to be okay. It just really feels like it doesn't matter what happens because God's going to work it out. It doesn't matter what happens with the job, with the car, with the house, with the clothes, with me personally. It doesn't matter what happens with my family, my friends. It doesn't matter because God got me. All of the things, and it's so funny because usually around this time when I start feeling good, day 2 or 3, the adversary tries to slide on in, and he really tries to tempt me. He tries to manipulate me. It's something within the week. During the week of me feeling more powerful, me feeling stronger than I've ever felt, me feeling like my connection with God is the strongest, is when the adversary comes and he kind of lays in wait and waits for me to have a moment where I'm slacking, or I don't want to say slacking, but a moment where I'm not as strong as I was in this moment. And so every time I try to be on the lookout for it, and it comes in different ways. So, like, I might expect it to come from a guy. I might expect it to come from the job. I might expect it to come from whatever place. And it's like every place that I expect it to come from, it comes from somewhere totally different, out of left field that I don't see coming. And so in a moment like this, I know that I need to be even closer to God. I need to stay close. I need to find, I don't know what it's going to be, but I know whatever it is, I'm going to make it through that as well. But in this moment, I really feel like I'm about that life. Like, I really feel like I got that. That's how we always feel. Like, that's how it feels too before you get into relationships and stuff. Like, Most women will be like on these videos, or they'll be like talking to their friends and stuff, and they'll be like, yeah, girl, if that was me, I would never let. Then they get in a relationship and they look just like the other friend, but that's neither here nor there. And I'm not saying that to get on those people. I think it's great that you want to feel brave and everything else, but you have no idea how it feels to be in anyone else's situation. So if you really want to be helpful to your friends, just listen to them, just encourage them, just speak life into them and let them know that they not the don't say you deserve better than that girl. Say you could say something along those lines, but just speak life into that person. Let them know how beautiful and smart they are. Let them know that, they deserve to be treated like blah, and that you're going to be there with them regardless of what happens. Because what happens is they might need somewhere to vent, and you might be the person they want to vent to. If you don't want to hear it, then just say, listen, if you're going to stay with this person, just don't talk to me about it because I can't handle it. Something like that, because they probably need someone to talk to, and you might be that person. And I know it's a burden for those people, but it's also a burden for the person in the relationship. And sometimes it really takes a while to get up enough courage to leave if you know that situation isn't working out for you. And if your friend is staying, it's because it's not as bad as they say it is. Like, they might have bad times, but maybe they're just, venting to you. And maybe you should just say, listen, I appreciate the fact that you want to talk to me about this, but I just can't handle it because I want you to be happy. And when you're telling me that you're not happy, it's making me feel some type of way. And I don't know if we need to be about this life and come see, come see about this, but you know, you really gotta just be compassionate, be understanding, and know that the person is really, they are talking to you because they feel like they can express a lot of things to you, and they might need you in that moment. And don't be that friend that said I told you so when they leave. Just be supportive, really be a shoulder that they could cry on, really be a voice that speaks life into them, because you don't know what you would do in her situation. And even though on the outside looking in with no emotions, no attachments, no time with the other person, you feel like you could just get up and walk away so easily. That's not how it is actually being in a situation like that. Like, you're not there for the makeups. You're not there for any of the conversations. It's not all just that one conversation that they had when they were vented to you. It's a whole year on top of that, which is probably not that one conversation. Or it might be 3 moments throughout a month, and maybe the rest of the year is great. But you only heard that part, and it's really hard to not remember that. So for people, and I know I'm not in a healthy relationship, and people are probably like, how do you feel like you can speak on this? Listen, I know from experience, and I'm telling you, do not invite other people into your relationship. Do not allow their thoughts, their opinions. Don't do it. The only way I would suggest, and this is by TG himself from Make It Work, Tony Gaskins Jr., his book Make It Work, is if you're going to tell both sides of the story in an unbiased way and allow them to see that you are also not perfect and this person also did something. Don't just paint this person out to be the villain and then expect all your friends and family members to like this person after that, because they're going to give them side stares. They're going to be holding grudges. Like, you don't need that in your life. Just, if you really need to express it, talk to a therapist, talk to a life coach, write it down. Do not just be telling people all of your business like that. And for me personally, I want my relationship to be just between me and that person. If I am feeling a certain type of way, like maybe there's a family member or a friend that I talk to about a lot of different things. Maybe I'll talk to them about business or something else that's going on in my life and not my relationship. Maybe, and I only say that because the picture that he painted in the book is like a house. You don't let everybody in your house, hopefully. There's like certain people that you do allow to come in there. And so if your relationship is the inside of this house, you need to be able to invite certain people in that, you're just saying, hey, this is the person that I love or I like or whatever else. But they don't need to know all of the things in your closet, the skeletons in your closet. They don't need to be able to see, like, you don't need to have a glass house where everybody could see in and throw in their opinion. Like, this needs to be your decision. You are an adult, a mature adult who I know you might not trust yourself, maybe because of past experiences, and maybe you want other people's opinions because you feel like you don't know if you can make the best decision for your life, but you are an adult. I promise you, you got this. If you mess up, oh well. People mess up every day. It's a life lesson. You're gonna have to learn it. But you listening to what someone else is telling you to do is not going to help you at all. It's going to make other people are going to feel like they can always give their opinion. Even when you don't want to listen to it, they're still going to be giving you opinions. And then when you and your boyfriend, fiance, husband are good, they're going to be giving them the side eye, the stink eye. They're going to be talking a whole bunch of crap about them because you allowed that door to be open. So be real cautious of who you allow to be in any part of your life. If there's something that you want to keep private, keep it to yourself. Write it down. Talk to a therapist. Talk to a life coach. Do not just divulge that information to everybody because we change our mind all the time. I might, and I'm not saying I'm going backwards or anything like that. I'm just saying that one day I might be feeling a certain type of way. Like it might just be, I don't know, something going on in my life. It could just be a whole bunch of pressure on me at one time. And it might just be a bad day. And now you done told Susie, and Susie got the biggest mouth. Just kidding, no. No, but even if she keeps it to herself, now Susie, every time you're with Jack, is looking at Jack like, hit the road, Jack. Instead of like, oh, hey, Jack, how are you? So you really just have to be really cautious of what you're saying about your relationship. You, in the future, when I'm in a relationship, I don't want everybody in my business. I also want us to be teammates, not opponents. I don't want us to be fighting against each other every day. Like we're on the same team. We want the same thing. So why are we fighting against each other? We should be trying to come to some sort of common ground. Like it's just unnecessary tension and stress for no reason. I don't want that in my life. And I'm not saying we're not going to disagree. I understand that. But I also don't want it to just be like World War III every day or something. I want it to be contentment. I want it to be like we are seeking God. We know that God is the center of our life. Yes, we have different opinions. We don't agree on everything. Maybe we talk through it. I don't know, but definitely don't want everybody's business. Everybody to be all up in my business. Like unless my life is in jeopardy, I don't want anybody's opinion. If they get like some kind of weird intuition, like something's off about this brother or something's off about this person, then of course I want to know that. I don't want to be missing. I just, I want to make sure that I get that input, but I don't want someone to say, well, six, he's 5'9" instead of 6 foot. I don't know about, like, I don't care what you think about that. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean like it's my personal preference. It's not up to other people's opinions of what they want in a person, because if that was the case, this would be the person for them, not for me. And so, so I really feel like you should be really cautious about that. Do whatever you got to so that you don't say anything negative about the person that you're with. If you feel like you have to talk trash about the person that you're with, it's probably time to move on, because you are putting way too much energy, too much negative energy into that relationship. That's toxic. It is. Because now you're just thinking of the things that this person isn't doing. You're keeping records of wrong, which is not biblical at all. So you can't even see if this person is changing because you're so busy worried about the past, you know? So if you really feel like you can't move on from something, you need to move on with your life. If you feel like you can't move forward, you need to move on with your life, because it's no reason for you to just hold this person. Like, just hold them there and not allow them to go anywhere because you're so afraid of them being with someone else and being better. That might be good. Maybe you're not grace for them. And even though that sucks to hear, it's true. And if you're not grace for them, there will be another person that's grace for them, and there will be another person that's grace for you. Maybe this other person will have more patience. Maybe this other person will do blah. But don't just say everybody else is the problem and I do everything perfect, because nobody is perfect. Only God is perfect. And so I don't know how I got into that part of the conversation, but okay, it went there. So I really just, I feel like I'm in a good place spiritually right now. I feel like, I mean, if I'm being real honest and transparent, I look a mess today, a little. Like, no, I look presentable. Yes, I understand that. But it's like a woman thing for real. Like, only women are gonna understand this. We have days where we look good, but we just don't not feeling it. Like, I'm just like, what is going on? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just, I'm just not feeling it today, you know? And so, so it's just, ugh, yeah. I'm not saying like something's wrong with my appearance or something like that. I'm just not. It's something. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but something just isn't. The feeling's not feeling. I'm not feeling it. Like, I don't know. Like, I went to put on this outfit and I was just like, I wasn't in my normal, like, spiritually, I feel good. I feel like me and God is like this right now. I feel like I don't care how badly I want something else. I'm focused on God. I wanted to go to this thing because this person was gonna be there. Just me being real and transparent. I wanted to go to this thing because this person was gonna be there, and I was like, God, can I go? And he was like, No. I was like, I'm not going because I need to stay focused on you. Like, even though I wanted to be there, I don't need to be there because if it was supposed to be, it would be. It's like there's nothing that I could do. The person didn't forget what I look like. So I know y'all are like, you are really doing the most for whoever this person is. No, I'm not. I told you I prayed about it and I'm not going. So, and it was just a thought in my mind. That's it. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things. But yeah, I just, today, I was getting ready and I picked out my outfit. I have my outfit picked out for tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, I got this outfit. I know what I'm going to wear. This is good. And today I was just like, I'm gonna wear the shirt that I've never worn before, which is this one. And I was like, I've never worn it, but I said I wanted to wear it this year, especially since it was a little warmer today, so I'm gonna wear this shirt. And I was like, I really wanted to wear this shirt, but I wanted to wear sweatpants. And I was like, I technically probably could have pulled that off because I would have just got my sweatpants and I would have like tightened it. I would have did like not the roll, but I would have done it like this. I would have probably tightened the bottoms so it would be like balloon pants or whatever, and I would have made it into a thing. But I was just like, I want to be comfortable, so I put on some jeggings. I know it sounds so weird, but I really put on these jeggings because I just wanted to be comfortable, but I wanted to be stylish at the same time. So I was like, forget it. Like, I didn't even like put effort into my style today. I just kind of was like, I'm gonna throw on this shirt and I want to be comfortable somewhere in jeggings. And I slipped on these boots that I wear a lot, these like booties that I put on, which looked cute. But I really just was like, usually I'm all about fashion. Usually I'm like, I can't wait to pick out my outfit. I can't wait to put this outfit on. I can't wait to put together these different styles or fabrics or patterns or, do something different with the style and use like, the I use scarf clips or whatever you want to call them for my hats. So you know how like when people go fishing, they put the little fish tail thing on there or the fishing hook thing on there. So when I'm wearing my baseball caps, I put those. I know this is gonna sound so crazy, but I put scarf pins in my hat. So I have one that has like a I love you on it. So I put that pin right here on the side of my baseball cap. And then I might do one that's like a tiger or something like that. Like I put all the different ones on the sides of my hats. It's just like a little something extra that's like a little me inside of something that's just regular. Like I might just be wearing a regular like sweatsuit or something with a hat, but then that will be different and I'll have my gold jewelry on. But today I just was like, I'm gonna just throw on this. Like I don't know what it was. Like my hair wasn't cooperating. You see, it got like a little frizzy right here. I just was like, what is happening today? It just, my goodness. And then my edges were like, they were doing something, but they weren't doing the thing that they usually do. And so I was just like, okay, this is how it's going to be today. So, I mean, it worked because I kept this thing on because I was just like, I don't know what to do with the rest of my hair. I could take the braids out and just start over because it only took like 30 minutes to do my hair for real. It really did. It only took 30 minutes. So it wasn't like a long thing that took forever. And I was only going to keep my hair like this for a week. But now I'm just like, okay, it's been 2 days, 2 or 3 days. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it today. I was really just like, I don't know. But spiritually, I feel good. I feel like I'm grateful for all the things I have. I feel like me and God, on a good page, on a good level. I feel like I'm ready to just stay focused on God, just to be doing whatever it is that God wants me to do, regardless of what's happening in my life. I had a moment where I was like, oh, I got to do this. And then God was like, I got you. Why are you even worried about that? And I get home and it's nothing. Like, literally, it was all taken care of. I was just like, I literally had a moment, a one sentence moment for no reason. I could have literally just been good and just like, okay, it is what it is. But instead, I took that moment, wasted a moment of my life for no reason. And so I just, oof, spiritually, I feel good. I feel like I'm focused. I feel like my soul is fed. I read the Bible. I spent some alone time with God earlier. I just really have been trying to be intentional with my relationship with God. And tomorrow I have like this plan of what I'm going to start doing, and I want to be really a lot better. I don't I just want to be a lot better in my relationship with God. I want to make sure that I'm staying focused. I'm doing all of the things that God wants me to do, and I'm not doing anything else. I don't want any person that doesn't want me. I don't want any person that God doesn't want to be a part of my life. Like, I just want what God wants. I don't want the job. If I don't care how much it pays, God's going to provide all my needs anyways. I just need to be wherever God is telling me to be and just prosper in that, because I want to live the type of life that I don't have any regrets in my life. Like, I don't want to say no regrets. Let me just say I want to do everything to the best of my ability. I want to be able to do the things that I need to be doing. And so I really need to stay focused. And this is really like the beginning of the week. So, eh, almost the middle of the week, because this day is almost over. But but every time I get this spiritually strong, there is something coming that I never see coming. I never expected. And I don't think it's going to be the thing that I think it's going to be, because I kind of see that coming. Like, usually around this time I'll get like the DM, or I'll get the call, or I'll get something will happen with, it could be any area of my life. Something will happen. And it's just like, what in the world? You know, and I never can prepare for it. All I can do is, like, when it happens, hold on to God. That's it. That's the only thing I can do, is just stay focused on God. The moment I go like this, I kind of stumble a little. I lose focus. I lose my stability. The thing that's keeping me stable is God. And so that's the thing that I try to focus on when I'm going through those moments. And it'll always be something I don't expect. I'm like, well, that's never going to happen, so I don't have to worry about that. Let the storm pass. And then that week that the storm passed, it'll be like, person comes out of nowhere. I'm like, didn't we already have a discussion that you don't want me? Like, what is the point of this? But it's just stuff like that will happen. And I'll be fine most of the time. But there will be some things that'll kind of rock me a little. It's like, oh my goodness, like, then I remember that God is who He said He is. Then I remember to stay faithful. Then I remember that I can trust in God. I remember that no matter what happens, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, seen or unseen. I remember that God will give me everything that I need according to His purpose, which means it's not what I want, it's what I actually need. It's what I would need to benefit the kingdom, which is why I usually say all the time, whatever will benefit the kingdom, because it's not about me, it's about God, you know? And I was reading the Bible earlier today, and it said that it was talking about the shepherd, the Lord, it's not the Lord's Prayer, but it was John 10. I think it's John 10. And it was going through and it was talking about the sheep being protected and everything else. And it was talking about how the thief, which is the adversary, comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But God comes that we might have life and have it more abundantly. And as I started to read down this verse, I got to like verse 27, and it said that my sheep hear my voice, and I know them and they follow me. It's something about hearing God's voice, about knowing that He is God, that keeps me peaceful. It's like that thing that I need, no matter what's happening in my day, no matter what chaos is around me, no matter who jumps in the DMs, no matter who calls, no matter who texts, no matter who I see somewhere. It's like when I know that I know that I know God, I know everything's going to be okay regardless of what happens, regardless of how tempting something is, regardless of how much I want something else that is not good for me, regardless of who thinks they're going to breadcrumb me or not, regardless of who is playing games, regardless of what's happening with my job, regardless of what's happening with my business, regardless of what's happening in my family, with my friends, no matter what is happening, I know that God got it. I know that there's nothing any person could ever do to me that will ever be more powerful than what God can do in this world, what He can do in my life, what he can do for me. There's absolutely nothing that any person could do, any person can try to do to deter me, to destroy me, to distract me. As long as I stay focused on God, I don't have to worry about anything. It will not add another minute or hour or day to my life for me to worry. So why worry? You know, especially since if there's something out of my control, what am I going to do about it anyways? I can't make the guy that I want like me. I can't make the job that I want accept me and give me a position within their company. I can't make somebody be my friend who doesn't want to be my friend. I can't make someone behave or do something a way that I want them to. People are going to people. Humans are going to human. That's like my thing that I say to people sometimes. And I was talking to this guy at the store, and he was telling me about someone, and I was just like, humans are going to human. And I really feel like I should have said, which I after I walked out the store, I was like, dang, I should have said that. But I really felt like I should have said, nobody could ever be God. People are going to mess up because we're human. That's what we do. You can never expect a person to be God. That's what I wish I would have said. But I did not say that. I got right to the door, like 6 steps away, and I was like, I should go back and say that. But I didn't. And I was like, God, forgive me. Like I really wanted to say that. And we were talking about God. And then they brought up a person. And I was just like, all right, I need to exit from this situation because I don't want to be talking about people. But but I was like, humans are gonna human. And I really, the best thing that I could have said in that situation was that person is not God. They will never be God. We can't put a God size, we can't expect somebody to be God. We can't put that type of pressure on a human being because they'll never be perfect. When I meet guys or people in life, friends, whatever, I don't ever expect them to be God. Sometimes they'll be like, well, I'm not perfect. Okay, no person is perfect. I would never expect any person that I meet to ever be perfect. The only one that is perfect is God. So, regardless if you chew really loud or you speak your mind or you had a bad past, I don't care what it is. Like, if you treat me the right way, that really doesn't matter. I don't care about your past. I don't care about you being honest because that's actually a good thing. I don't care about you taking care of your family because you want to make sure that your family is good. That's a good thing. Like, Okay. I mean, if you had seen the type of people that I've met, and God bless them, I'm not saying anything like I'm trying to put them down or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's two different types of people. That's not that same person. So, the shirt. It's just it's gonna do what it does. Like it's just a thing. But I really, really don't expect any person to be perfect. There will be people, and because I go to church and stuff like that, sometimes I'll be around people and they'll say something and they're like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Like I might have an opinion, but if it's something like it's talking about somebody, or if it's something like I don't know. If it's talking about somebody or something like that, I just don't have an opinion on it because I don't want to be that person that's caught up in a whole bunch of drama or is talking stuff about somebody else that's not there to protect themselves. And I know like sometimes it's good to vent or whatever else, and I'm not like trying to like judge people or anything like that. I just don't want to be the judge of a person because I can never judge somebody because I'm not perfect. Like I just feel like no matter what somebody does, unless it's extremely evil, like I really don't have an opinion on it. And even then, it's God's job to seek revenge. It's not my job to do that. And that's not for every situation. There are some extenuating circumstances where I might have to be about it. But for the most part, I let God handle everything because He could do a way better job at getting, I don't want to say getting a person back, but giving them what they deserve, which might be growing a relationship with him, or it might be falling so that they can find him. They could seek his face so that because if I step in and try to help this person who God is trying to teach a lesson, then God is not going to be able to get through to them. If someone would have stepped in my lowest moment and helped me in that point, I literally probably wouldn't have seek God. I probably wouldn't have rededicated my life to God. So I had to be there so that I could find God again. I had to be there. And I say again because, and I feel like I have to clarify, but I say again because when I was younger, I was always in church and stuff like that. And then, you get into the world and you think you're grown and all of the other stuff, you think you know everything, and I just kind of got swept up in the world. I really got swept up in what society and everybody else was doing, which is why you hear me use a lot of analogies or talk about society and the world a lot because I've been there, done that, and I don't want it anymore. I don't want any parts of that. I want all God for real. And so I just, that's why I say rededicated my life to God because I always knew, and I think the thing that helped me the most was knowing that God was there. Like, regardless of what I went through in my life, what mistakes I made, I always knew I could go back to God. I always knew that God would be there for me, regardless of how many times I messed up, regardless of what I did in my past, regardless of anything. I knew that if I repented, I knew that if I was sincere, I knew that if I was really willing to lay to give God my life, to put my life in his hands, to really just seek his face, that he would allow me to be a part of whatever it is that he sees for my life, that he would forgive me. God's forgiveness is so amazing. Like most people be holding grudges forever, and God's just like, I threw that into the sea of forgetfulness. That's as far as from one end of the earth to the other. Like I'm not even worried about that anymore. You're the only person sometimes still worried about it. I already forgave you ages ago, like people say. So it's not important. What's important is that you're seeking my face now. What's important is that even though you made a mistake, you allow that to be your testimony. What is important is that even though you're not perfect, you're willing to serve and be intentional in your life. You're willing to intentionally build a relationship with me. You're willing to intentionally set time aside for me. You're willing to continue to become a better person. Even if that doesn't look perfect every day, you're always striving to be better. And that's all that God could ask for, is for you to just be better. Just do the best that you can. You don't ever have to be perfect. You could seek perfection, but you don't have to be perfect because only God is perfect. If you are trying to constantly become better, that is what God would intend for your life, because he wants you to just be do the things that are pleasing to him. He wants you to live the life that He always set aside for you, the things that He always had set aside for you. And you can't get that if you are in the world. You can't get that if you are trying to do things your own way, if you are being completely selfish. If you don't have any discipline, you will not be able to receive those blessings. And so, in conclusion, I know I talk a lot of stuff on this video when I said, is that the best you got? But I know God got me. I know no matter what comes my way, I know that it's going to be difficult. I know that I'm not always going to be strong, but I know that God is my strength when I'm weak. I know that no matter what comes my way, no matter what distractions try to distract me from my purpose or from what it is that God placed in my life, I will always seek God's face. I will always try to stay focused on God so that I can make sure that no matter what is coming at me, I won't stumble. I won't fall. I might get a little off course, but I don't ever want to stop walking the path that God set forth for me. I want to make sure that I'm intentional with my life. I want to make sure that I'm serving. I want to make sure that I'm doing the things that are pleasing to Him. And not everybody is going to like that. Not everybody is going to accept that. Some people are going to say, well, you just seem too like snobby, or not snobby, but like a goody two shoes is what someone said. And I was just like, okay, well, that's just what I have to be. I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. I just want to be better than I used to be. And I just want to seek God's approval. That's it. So if you feel like that's a problem, it's fine, because there's someone else who will be graced, who will understand that I'm all about that God life. Like, if I'm not trying to be better for God, if God is not the center of my life or your life, it's just not going to work anyway. So it is what it is, you know. But I just know that God got me, and it doesn't matter who, what, when, where, how, what person, place, a thing. Like, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is God.